Let's talk about being on the path of destruction versus being on the path of righteousness. Now, we're not always going to be perfect, but there comes a time in your life where you have to make it. You have to make a decision. Are you going to follow Christ, or are you going to follow the world? There is a great separation between God's people and the world. You are in this world, but you're not of this world. Because it is no longer that you live, but it's Christ that lives in you now. So it's the old you versus the new you. And this walk is not made for everybody. Not everybody can get through this refining process 7 times, just to take away all the impurities out of the gold or the silver. You're like a fine mineral going through the furnace, and you're being tested and refined, and you don't know how long it's going to take. 7 times through the fire could be 7 years, could be 17 years, could be 7 months, could be 7 weeks. You don't know. 7 days. But it's like we don't know anything, right? God is in complete control. And we think we're in control. We want to be in control. But all reality is, we're not really in control. God is in control of everything. And God has demonstrated that to me in a very different way. In the last 9 months, God has made it to where it didn't matter what I did. Nothing was going to happen unless He says it was going to happen. Other people, they can do whatever they please and everything goes their way because they're part of the world. They're not part of God anymore. So God just lets them do whatever they please, right? And in the end of their life, they pay the price. So they may have it the way they want while they're alive, but when the end comes, they're going to regret that. So it's you leaving your old life behind you and stepping into this new identity, this new version of yourself that you never thought even existed. And that's what I'm going through. I'm going through the refining process myself. And I can tell you, it is not made for everybody. And I can understand why so many people don't make it. It is brutal. You go through a lot of things that really break you and shake you up and see what you're really made out of. Because God wants to really see who you are. God wants to see if you're really about it. Are you really gonna walk with Him? Are you really gonna believe when it doesn't seem like there's any hope at all? But you know that there's hope. But the way it feels and the way it looks, it's fighting against you. And you're looking around you and thinking, how is anything going to happen for me? Is God really going to come through for me? Because if He doesn't, I'm in trouble. And I think that's what God wants us to be, is in a place where we're in surrender now. It's all you, God. If you don't open this door, if you don't rescue me, it's over with. You know? But if God has done it for so many other people, why would he not want to do it for you? And it's probably a good reason And a good indication that God's gonna rescue you is when He's putting you through the refining process. Because if God didn't think that you were gonna make it on the other side, then He wouldn't even consider putting you through that. So, if God has put you through that refining process, then that's probably a very good sign that God's going to use you, and you're going to honor God, and you're going to make it. And when you make it on the other side, that you're not going to just forget about God. You're not going to just get all your blessings and be like, well, God who? I don't remember that God. And what's so funny is people do that. How do you forget all that? How do you forget all the things you've been through that nearly destroyed you, and how God rescued you out of the pits of poverty, out of the pits of hell? I could never forget about God, because I know that the consequences are massive. The consequences are worse than if you would have never taken the opportunity to walk with Christ to begin with. You would have been better off if you just stayed in the world. But when you come to Christ and then you go back to the world, that's a double whammy. That's way worse. So let's not do that. But let's just know that even though sometimes it doesn't feel like God is with us, He is with us. Somehow, some way, that God is with us, that God will give us the strength to get through what we're going through, to get to a better place in life. And I could tell you, man, I've been through hell. I've been through hell and high water. And you don't know how far you are from your finish line, or how close you are. And that's part of you being a human, experiencing the human experience. You just don't know how close you really are. You really don't know. You could literally be just like right around the corner and not even know it. And I heard that people do quit right before they make it. And they're like at the goal line or the 20-yard line, about to make a touchdown. A touchdown that will change the history of your life, to change the history of your family's bloodline history. This is no joke. I could see why so many people don't make it. This is where it separates the real soldiers of Christ and the ones that say that they love God, but when it comes down to it, and their life gets shaken up, they don't follow through. And just that being said, pick up your cross and follow Him. And just know that God will always be with you. And God will not fail you and leave you like that. So on this Friday night, I encourage you, go out there and show the world who you are.